Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, along with my lovely wife, Gina, and we are back for another episode of CovertGoLore. Today we are doing another side story from KALDHEIM. This one is called BROKENBROW. And after this story, we're going to be skipping the last two side stories from KALDHEIM and launching right into Strixhaven lore since it just dropped yesterday. And we're looking forward to bringing you the story of Strixhaven. So, also special shout out to our editor, Maddie B, who does a great job on these videos now. Take it away, Gina!
I'm also going to apologize to Maddie B in advance because this story is told like Memento style with bits all out of order, and we're going to do a lot of smash cut scenes. And so I hope you can follow me. All right. So, BROKENBROW. The story is by Roy Graham with contributions from Jenna Helland. Let me set the scene. It's a lovely sunny day as we look out over the rolling fields of green. Green that's about to be splashed with red because there would be a battle today. Bum, bum, bum. So this isn't two big armies clashing. It's just this little skirmish between a pack of skelly raiders who wear black armor with steel thorns sticking out, and they like to decorate themselves with grisly trophies and stuff. And the Tuskegee.
Their opponents!
Yeah!
The Tuskegee!
I don't know what they look like because the story doesn't say.
I wonder who wins.
There's like a dozen Tuskegee, and they're gonna face like twice that many people. It's not looking great at all. But two Valkyries have come to watch. We learned from the Nico storyline that Valkyries travel in pairs, and they're kind of watching and placing bets. They expect this to be pretty one-sided and over with quickly.
You want to have a look?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Niala is a shepherd, and Elaine is a reaper. And their job is to watch this fight and judge it, like the harsh film critics that they are. They're sharing a bucket of popcorn, box of Mike and Ike's. You know, they're just here to judge everybody. It's fine. Elaine points and says, oh, there. See that one? That's their new leader, Arnie BROKENBROW. Oh. It's a great warrior, great gambler, great drinker. And Yala, like, squints at him in the distance.
I don't like his fashion choices.
Oh, no, she says, like, well, he's not the biggest guy in the group. And she notices that the only thing that made him really stand out, apart from his bright red hair, is this, like, giant shard of bone sticking out of the side of his forehead. Like, and she says, that's the leader of all of them? Yeah. Oh, what's he doing here, then? My guess? He was bored. Nyala puts on a frowny face because to a Valkyrie, no mortal seemed to last longer than a sunny afternoon, and the daring and reckless souls of the Tuskegee clan just kind of flickered out quicker than most. They just do weird stuff. It looks like BROKENBROW would be drinking at a table in Starnheim tonight.
Meaning he's gonna lose.
Mm-hmm.
They have judged him loser.
Yeah. So, the two groups on the battlefield are approaching each other slowly, and the Skele are spreading out in like a crescent shape, trying to encircle the Tuskegee. And the Valkyries are on the edges of their seats up in the bleachers. Would the Tuskegee turn and flee and be cut down by their enemies? Or, if they got far enough, they would be cut down by Elaine, since Reapers don't take too kindly to cowards. Or, would this group stand and fight and die a glorious death that Nyala could reward them for?
Let's see. Let's find out.
Let's watch. So Arnie takes out his sword. He does like a cool spin with it, like showing off the range of motion in his wrist. And then he grinned. And it looked like he was grinning right at Nyala. And she's a little freaked out by this. Like, no way. That had to be a coincidence. Mortals can't see a Valkyrie unless she wants to be seen. But it felt like the look on his face was saying, watch this. When the two groups are only 10 strides apart, the Tuskegee break into a sudden charge with Arnie BROKENBROW at the very front, bellowing a joyous war cry!
War cry?
That was something. Nyala didn't even realize she was holding her breath, but she lets it out now. Hey sis, it looks like you don't have to cut anyone down today. And Elaine shrugs and says, they can still check it out, whatever. But the charge caught the Skelly off guard. They frantically tried to set up a line of spears, but BROKENBROW leaps over the spear tips like a gazelle and brings his sword down straight through a dude's head. And everybody's fighting. The Skelly have spread themselves out too thin. They can't get around. So the Tuskegee just plunge straight through, cutting the group in half. And it turns out the Skelly are the ones that chicken out. And they take off running. So Elaine's just like, okay, she clocks in, picks up her big sickle, which I presume she has, and goes off to do some reaping. And Nyala just watches in dumb amazement as Arnie sits on a big pile of dead guys and laughs like he's at a party. When Elaine returns, she says, well, sister, it looks like you're the one that has the day off. No one needs shepherding to Starnheim today. Next scene. Now, we are at the big drinking hall on Starnheim that we visited in Nico's story. Everybody's singing songs about themselves. They're calling out their drink refills left and right. People are party rocking non-stop, like you do in Starnheim.
Animal pants, out of control.
Nyala wanders just deep in thought because BROKENBROW was supposed to die today. But she realizes she doesn't really know his backstory, so she goes to find a mortal that does. She finds this dwarf named Hormgart drinking it up, and when he sees her, he says, "Girl, I must be in heaven because I'm looking at an angel." Like, wow, Hormgart, never heard that one before. I was hoping you could tell me about someone, a mortal. Whoa. It's not like we all know each other. Well, he's the new leader of the Tuskegee, Arnie BROKENBROW. Heard anything about him? Oh, that guy! He wasn't always called BROKENBROW. He used to be called Goat Leaper!
Why change it?
I know the whole story. Next scene, in the past. Deep in the Tusk Mountains, word has spread of a scourge of murderous trolls terrorizing villages along the Red Ridge. The Tuskegee are always down to clown and have adventures, so they're saddling up to go troll hunting. And they were led by Arnie Goat Leaper and about to investigate the troll den. Smash cut to a completely different scene! We are still in the Tusk Mountains, but we are some unknown amount of time after our first scene where we fight the Skelly. You with me?
But we're not, the trolls is not happening? It's
not happening right now. Now we're in the present.
And the Valhalla is not happening.
We're not there either. No.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. But this is shortly after they beat the people they weren't supposed to beat.
Yes.
Go!
And now we're in the mountains. And Elaine and Nyala have reported to duty in the Tusk Mountains, assuming Arnie BROKENBROW is going to die today. And they watch as a massive dragon with 4 curving horns whips its tail through the air back and forth. Arnie and his Tuskegee friends have it surrounded, but every time somebody gets close, the tail makes them reconsider, and they back off. And Arnie's nearby. He's just kind of oblivious to the dragon. He's fiddling with some rope. And Nyala is concerned. She's up in the stands again. What's he doing? He'll never die a worthy death over there tying knots. One dude comes forward with a war cry. Whoa! He swings his sword at the dragon. It bounces off like it hit a rock. And the dragon looks at him, and dude drops his sword and runs away as fast as he can. Nyala says to her sister, "Hey, don't you have something to do about that situation over there?" Elaine's like, I'm gonna call that less an act of cowardice and more like common sense. we'll just let it go. Arnie is now satisfied with his knot tying and starts twirling a lasso, rodeo style. At just the right moment, he lassos one of the dragon's horns and pulls the rope tight. The dragon's like, what? The dragon jerks his head and Arnie goes flying through the air, but he lands on his feet like a boss because he does stunts. Once again, he has that look on his face that says, watch this. The dragon jerks backward, and again Arnie goes flying, but now he lands just behind the dragon's head. He gets his balance, draws his sword, stabs it right between the horns. The mammoth body of the dragon crashes to the valley floor. Nyala whispers, unbelievable. He actually. And Elaine smiles and says, looks like your favorite human lives to fight another day.
The sequel was better than the original.
Nyala thinks back in her brain back to the troll story. Jump cut. After a long climb up the mountain, Arnie and his band of brave warriors hear troll noises, bones snapping, animals crawling. They're grumbling language. It's coming from a cave. They're outnumbered. But if they go back to get help, someone else is gonna steal their glory, and that's lame. So, Arnie bursts into the cave and greets the surprised faces and gaping tusked mouths of the trolls staring at him. Aye, you're the lot that's been raiding up and down the ridge. I've got a whole big army out there ready to tear your heads off. But I thought you might like to settle this a different way. A headbutting contest. Loser leaves town. Smash cut to a completely different scene. Boom! This takes place some unknown amount of time after the dragon fight. Okay. Now we're in a forest. It's fine. Nyala and Elaine have shown up to see if Arnie BROKENBROW will die. Again. He has picked a fight with Tover Giant's Blood. It's the biggest human Nyala has ever seen. He stands like a head and a half above all the other Kana warriors, coming out of the massive pines of the Aldergard. Arnie looks like a child next to him. Nyala is just kind of flapping around anxiously, like, this is it! It has to be, right? Like, an honor duel with that? BROKENBROW's death has finally found him.
How could he possibly beat a human being that's taller than him when he's already beaten an army twice his army size and a freaking dragon? Clearly a big human is the ultimate obstacle.
Yep.
Okay.
She's imagining the glorious death, congratulating him on being awesome, welcoming him to Starnheim, handing him his drinking horn with the unlimited drink refills, giving him a tour of the place where he could spend eternity drinking, feasting, and fighting. She's waited so long for this moment. She can't wait to meet him. And Elaine just kind of shrugs with a smile on her face. What, Elaine? Well, it's not like he died the last 8 times. So there's a big circle of warriors who have gathered to watch this fight, Fight Club style. Giant's Blood takes out his super big axe and he bellows, BROKENBROW, I'll give you one last chance to repent. Grovel before me and my ancestors. Beg our forgiveness for desecrating the resting place of my family. And you can leave this circle alive. And Arnie just kind of scratches his beard and calls out, what's the fun in that? Like, but really, bruh, you need to chill out. Haven't you ever gotten lost and peed somewhere you weren't supposed to? That's what this fight is about.
That's what this fight is about?
It's about bathroom problems.
Okay. Classic.
Giant's Blood says, draw your blade, little man. So Arnie pulls out his sword, and it looks like a dagger next to the big dude. It doesn't look like it's going to do anything. So Giant's Blood charges forward, swinging his axe. Arnie ducks. And then he swings again. Arnie jumps back. And Nyala is cheering from the bleachers, waving pom-poms like, woo! Go Arnie! Fight bravely, yes! Be courageous and heroic! And actually die this time! Woo! Go Arnie!
Man, angels are not good groupies. They just want you to lose.
But die real good. Real good. Arnie keeps on evading the swings until Giant's Blood fakes a swing, but instead uses the top blunt part of the axe to give him poof, uppercut. Poof! Woo! Send him flying through the air backward. And Elaine observes, oh, not a complete idiot then. And Nyala is just completely absorbed in this fight. But she's getting this like weird feeling in her stomach that she's never had before. Like she's worried. Giant's Blood does another big axe swing. But instead of doing a dodge, duck, or roll, Arnie steps into it and swings his sword at the handle. And everybody gets out of the way as the axe head goes flying away and gets stuck in a nearby pine tree. So Giant's Blood looks down like, I've got a stick. He's really bummed. His favorite axe is broken. It's very sad. So he tosses it away and he grabs Arnie in a big bear hug. Brrr, picks him up off the ground. And Arnie is squirming and wiggling, but it's useless. He's caught. Everyone goes quiet because the big man's just squeezing and squeezing and Arnie's gasping for air. Arnie drops his sword. Elaine grimaces and says, Nyala, like, maybe you shouldn't watch. This is the scary part. And Nyala says, no, I have to be here at the end. And she keeps thinking to herself, isn't this what I wanted? I get to reward him, take him to Starnheim. We get to hang out after this at the after party. She doesn't want him to be squeezed to death by this man. She kind of wants him to win. She spreads her wings, starts to move forward. But her sister stops her like, no, Nyala, it's an honor duel. But, well, and even if it wasn't, we're Valkyries. We can't interfere, you know this. Nyala doesn't care. She wants to help. But then, over her sister's shoulder, she sees a grin on Arnie's face. A look she's seen many times before. A look that says, watch this. Giant's Blood had lifted him fully into the air, and for the first time, they were at eye level with each other. And then, Nyala remembered how the story of his name ended. Smash cut back to the troll story. Hours had passed, and still, the headbutting contest continued. Both are tired, bloody, dizzy, very likely concussed. Arnie's been facing this troll for a long time, and the troll can't believe it. Like, how is this human keeping up? He's feeling, like, really ashamed, a little frightened. Like, who is this guy? What if this human beats him? So at this point, the troll decides to cheat. As Arnie comes forward with his head, the troll angles his tusks at Arnie's brow. This ended up being a very terrible mistake, because many people were as strong or stronger than Arnie Goat Leaper. Many were as smart or smarter than Arnie. But few who were as strong or smart could match the thickness of his skull.
Superpower.
A sound like lightning, big crack, echoes off the walls of the cave. The troll is lying flat on his back. One of his tusks have snapped off. And standing above him, victorious and bloody, with a troll bone embedded in his forehead, was Arnie Goat Leaper. Only they didn't call him Goat Leaper anymore. And that's where the written story ends, but I added on a little ending because I thought it wasn't satisfying that we didn't get to end that final fight with the Giant's Blood. So, let's go back! Smash cut to the fight with Giant's Blood! Arnie rears back and gives Giant's Blood a massive headbutt. Big man goes down. Arnie wins. His friends rejoice. Yay! The Valkyries, who are supposed to be impartial, jump up and down and whoop and holler and cheer for their favorite human. Woo! And Nyala smiles and says, someday, Arnie, you will die, but not this day. And is a fangirl for Arnie forevermore. That's the story.
So, 4? Did we get like 4 Arnie tales out of this?
There were like 4 Arnie stories, some told out of order.
Divided into various spots. And you know what they all come around to?
He wins?
And he has a hard head.
Yeah.
And Valkyries. Even if you are the stubbornest and most ridiculous lovable underdog, you can also win over the hearts of the angels.
That's what we learned today. And unlike the last story where Nico just dropped into the battle for Kaldheim, we don't get what happened between this and that. But now we know why Arnie is a cool dude.
And why would that be?
Because he does crazy stuff and wins. That's what I learned about this. Like he's like kind of reckless but brave and smart.
And he's got a hard head.
Very hard head.
All right. Now you know a lot more than you did before about Arnie BROKENBROW, and maybe a few things about Valkyries as well. So, thank you for watching this video. As always, we will see you in the next video as we begin our dive into the lore of Strixhaven. So for Maddie B and for my lovely wife Gina, it's me, it's CGB. Thank you for watching this video. As always, we will see you in the next video. You're cool.
So cool.